The island of Guernsey. What a cute little place of complete normality. Nothing interesting or exciting ever happens in the place of beautiful beaches and cute little cows. Wrong! Guernsey is an absolutely insane place. Do not let the quiet country lanes and friendly faces deceive you, because this place is mental. Okay, that was a little bit of an over-the-top introduction, but it did get your attention, didn't it? In all seriousness though guys, Gemma and I have been living in Guernsey for just over 12 months, and during that time we've experienced and seen quite a few things that vary from being a little bit strange to downright bizarre. In this week's video guys, I'm going to be talking to you about some of the weirdest and wackiest places all around Guernsey, which some of the locals here haven't even heard of, which I've got to say, on an island a third of the size of Glasgow, that in itself was quite weird. So let's get stuck into some of Guernsey's strangest places, and I'm going to be talking to you all about the reasons why I love this island so much. Down on the southwestern coastline of the island is one of the first rather bizarre places that the coastline of Guernsey has to offer. So the circle of rocks to my left here is called the Table de Peon, and it's also known locally as the fairy ring. However, the actual story behind it isn't anything as exciting as fairies and witches like I would like it to be like that. No, what it is basically a luxurious picnic bench. I think it dates back to about 18th or 19th century, and it used to be a route around the island. I believe it was called like the Peons or something. It was something to do with peons, which is like foot people, and this was just a little spot that they often stopped off at to have their afternoon teas and sandwiches. I guess a name as exciting as the fairy ring, you can come here and you can come up with your own stories, maybe in the middle of the night, admire the stars above and just tell ghost stories to each other. The second of our bizarre places in Guernsey lies at the top end of the island in the northern section known as Landcrest Common, and it can be found right at the top of the hill. What do we think? A little bit spooky?
A little bit. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
I think it's this thing called Lavard, and basically what I think is it dates back to a few thousand years ago apparently, and it's a site to Guernsey that actually we didn't realise existed until this year. And I've never heard of it before, and it's these kind of old burial tombs that are like dotted around the island. I think I'm gonna go inside, have a little look around inside it and see what's what, but it's pretty cool. It's basically this kind of like cave built into the ground.
So it says the site was discovered during military exercises in 1811 when human skulls and bones were unearthed.
Spooky.
You sure you want to go in? Oof,
that's a low ceiling that is. It kind of gets a bit taller as you get in there. I don't actually know if you can see me guys, but it's pretty cool. You can stand up, you can even jump, and there's like a stone pillar just here holding it up. It's dated to 1898, which I'm guessing is when they uncovered it and had to cement this and stop it collapsing. And someone stuck a wooden plank in for good measure. That's good. This ancient burial site dates back thousands of years to the Neolithic period, and it is in fact so ancient that the exact history of this time is still shrouded in quite a lot of mystery. These tombs can be found all across the island, with another one that we visited sitting on the Lehau headland called Le Crux Efflet Tomb. Moving to a more recent part of Guernsey's history, dotted all along the 50 kilometres coastline of the island are castles and forts that date back from the early 20th century all the way back to the 13th century. One of the main reasons we love living in Guernsey so much is because of the sheer incredible history that the island has to offer, a lot of which is actually hidden right in plain sight. Now we're always saying like you should always explore your own back garden because you never know what you just might find, and it's like today we came straight home from work, went straight back out because the sunset was looking quite nice, and we found this little fortress right in the middle of Guernsey.
Yeah, now the only reason I know about this is because I actually wrote about it in a blog post that we've just recently posted, and I really needed to get a photo for it, so we were in the field looking, we found, no, like I can't see it, like it seems like it doesn't exist, and it wasn't because...
The only reason we actually found it was because we knew it was here, so we're like, it's got to be around here somewhere. And it's this entire like fortress area. I'll show you guys real quick. So this is us inside the fortress bit. That's like the gateway that you go over a moat and come into here. And then there's a wall all the way around it with a little hut. Right there, it's called Ivy Castle. And it sits just up from the Red Lion in Guernsey along the seafront. And this is what it looks like from the outside. So you've got this moat that goes all the way around it. And there's a cute little gate that goes inside. What a magical place. Of all these beautiful and historical places in Guernsey, the most notable of which of course is Castle Cornet, which sits overlooking St Peter Port and has done for the past 800 years. Guernsey is also home to the smallest church in the world. It's this thing called the Little Chapel, which is just behind me here. And it's this tiny little church that was built, I think it was founded in about 1680, and it's been rebuilt a couple of times since then. And as you can see, the church itself, inside it, and the stairs and everything around it are all made up from like broken pottery, and it's this really, really beautiful mosaic. It's incredibly small. I think it's closed just now due to the Guernsey's lockdown, but we actually went inside it a few months ago, and it's deceptively big on the inside because it's got about 3 levels that you walk down through it, through all the different designs and mosaics and little like praying bits that you can go into and check out.
When you arrive at the Little Chapel, there is actually a donations box which you can give to generously, and it helps the Little Chapel Foundation. And it actually tells you on the box of what your money will go towards.
And one of my favourite stories of the Little Chapel actually is that on one of the times that I think it was the Archduke or some kind of royal head came to Guernsey to visit it, he actually was too fat to fit through the door. Instead he had to knock the entire chapel down and rebuild it again just a little bit wider so that he could fit through the doorway. And to be honest, I don't really blame him. I think it's maybe like 2 or 3 feet wide. Like if you're bigger than average, you wouldn't be able to fit through it. Now, going back to the bizarre places in Guernsey, there's one that's so well hidden, in fact, that a lot of the locals we've spoken to have never even been here. Another place that I've only actually ever read about and seen pictures of in Guernsey, and I've been living here for almost over a year now, to be honest, I can't believe I've never done it, is the Lavard's Nature Walk, which sits just outside of Lille, I believe, kind of near to Rus Kiosk. Yeah. And apparently it's a big quarry, which is really cool. The pictures that I've seen, it's got like all the old kind of used quarry equipment and everything. I guess it's where they get the stone and stuff for the houses, or I don't know if they export it.
I have no idea.
No, you're not a quarry expert.
Not
a quarry expert, so
yeah.
But it looks like quite like a nice peaceful walk. Apparently it's a kilometre around the top, which is really good news because I'm blown already, as you can tell. Okay, wow, so I don't know what I was actually expecting, but I was not expecting this, to be honest. I think this is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. It's like something out of a James Bond film, to be honest. We've got this quarry down here where it still actively detonate the rock walls, and I believe the kilometre walk takes you around the top of the quarry all the way around. It's a really, really cool thing. Like, I've never seen a quarry like this before, but I didn't realise how actually deep they are. It's quite insane. Rounding off the list, we cannot have a strange places in Guernsey video without giving a special mention to the huge number of stunning cliffside towers that line the coast of Guernsey, all of which date back to a darker period of the island's history. Constructed by prisoners of war during the German occupation in the 1940s, these towers serve as a stark reminder to how close the invading forces of the Nazis came to the British Isles and possible victory over Europe. Alright, so this is where we're going. Into the bunker. Yeah, it's pitch black. You got a torch, Boop? Okay, here we go. This is what we're talking about. You guys can see me. So it's a bit of like a stool. It goes down as well. That's creepy. We love to visit these cliffs and towers to enjoy the spectacular sunsets that Guernsey has to offer, and also spend time thinking about what a beautiful and fascinating place this tiny little island is. I hope you've enjoyed our list of strange places in Guernsey, and if you do have any others to add to it, I would love to hear about it in the comments down below, because I just find this part of Guernsey so fascinating. If you like this video, guys, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us out so much spreading these videos all across YouTube. And if you want to see more Guernsey videos and general world travel videos, hit that subscribe button, join the Highlands to Hammocks gang, and I'll see you again in the next one.